Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Minnesota.
Tonight marks the start of the second half of the baseball season, but the end of an incredible week in Twins territory. Target Field shined in the national spotlight with the All-Star events truly living up to the hype. Tonight, the Twins return home hoping to start off strong against the Tampa Bay Rays. It is the beginning of a critical 10-game homestand here to start off the second half of the season for the Twins. Welcome to downtown Minneapolis on a beautiful night for baseball. I'm Jamie Hirsch. What a week it has been here at Target Field. There were so many memorable moments throughout the All-Star festivities, but it was capped off on Tuesday night with the main event with a true Twins finish. The American League led 5-3, and hometown hero Glenn Perkins made the save. The storybook ending was complete, and now 3 days later, Perkins still can't stop smiling.
It's still surreal, the feeling, of what I got to experience that night. But I think I can appreciate it and all those things. And, it was a moment that I'll never forget, and really a couple days that I'll never forget. All the fans that I got to hear from and talk to in that, it was quite the experience.
A special memory, but now the real work begins for all the Twins. The second half of the season starts tonight here on Fox Sports North.
By Menards. Save big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards. And by the all-new Sports North is presented by Menards. Save big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards. And by the all-new Chrysler 200, America's import. Beautiful night for baseball here at Target Field. Opening game of a big homestand for the Twins. First of 3 against the Tampa Bay Rays. And former Ray Sam Fuld has helped the Twins go into the All-Star break with some momentum in the month of July. Great numbers for the Twins utility outfielder. And we welcome you to Target Field. Dick Bramer welcoming back Bert Lyleven to Twins baseball. And the Twins are at that stage right now in the season where they've got to get it done. If this team is destined to finish at or above 500, this is the homestand that they need to make a move.
Yeah, the Twins right now 10.5 games behind the Detroit Tigers, but the schedule really looks pretty good for the Twins to get back into the race. You see the teams that are coming in here. 3-game series against the Rays, then you have Cleveland and White Sox, then against the Royals and the White Sox, and then 2 against San Diego. All these teams are looking to improve, as the Twins are. How do you improve? Well, it all goes to starting pitching. Tonight's starter, Kyle Gibson, he's still looking for that consistency. How does he do it? Do what he did in his last start in Seattle. Keep the ball in the ballpark, 6 shutout innings, and an easy win over the Mariners. For Gibson to be consistent, needs to get ground ball outs.
Well, the Twins hope to turn a corner in the middle of July. The Tampa Bay Rays may have turned one at the end of June.
Yeah, Tampa really struggled over the first couple months of the season, but one thing that was lacking was the offense. They have a very good pitching staff, even though they have a couple starters that are on the disabled list. But you can see the difference in the average. In the first 79 ball games, not hitting very well, but over the last 18 they have, and they're 13-5.
Kyle Gibson had an earlier start this year against the Tampa Bay Rays. It was one of those bad starts.
Forget about it.
He'll hope to have a much better one here tonight as he hopes to get the Twins' second half of the season started on the right foot. Target Field shined in the All-Star spotlight. It was an unforgettable week, capped by baseball's best, playing on Minnesota's picture-perfect playground. When it was over, a pair of Twins met at the mound after helping secure the win. Tonight, the Twins look to ride the Minnesota momentum and keep things rolling in the right direction against the Rays. Tapper's back to Thornton, and a throw at first is down the line. Willingham scores the winning run. Kurt Suzuki, an all-star catcher for the Twins, taking the field. The Twins went into the All-Star break with a good road trip. Now they hope to come out of the break with their best homestand of the year. The Twins with a 10-game homestand, and you can do the math at home if you'd like, but if they go 8-2, they will hit the road as a 500 ball club. I mentioned Joe Madden's team. They think they turned a corner at the end of June, and they still hope to be a factor in the American League East. Here's the Menards batting order for the Rays. Desmond Jennings leading off. Ben Zobrist batting second. Matt Joyce, Evan Longoria, James Loney, Yunel Escobar, Cole Figueroa. Kurt Casale just called up. He'll be making his major league debut. And Kevin Kiermaier.
And on the mound, it will be Kyle Gibson making his 19th start, his second start this season against the Rays. He lost to David Price back in Tampa back in late April. But one thing we have seen from Kyle Gibson is the inconsistency, and spending so many starts that he has pitched great, and then there's some ones that you want to throw out the window. Hopefully this is another great one.
Gibson will face Jennings, Zobrist, and Joyce. And down and away, ball one. You know, it really has been a first half for Gibson, a bookend type of a year. You've had the really bad starts, the really good starts, and virtually none of them in between. 1-1.
Yeah, Gibson, 7 of his 18 starts, he has had starts where he has given up no runs. I mean, that's outstanding.
1-1 to Jennings. Breaking ball over, and then one of the worst starts he had came against the Rays at Tropicana Field. A miserable start. It lasted just 3 innings. He gave up 10 hits, 2 walks, and 20 plate appearances.
Yeah, Dick, both these starters here tonight, not only Gibson, but also the Rays starter Alex Cole, when they're on, they'll get a lot of ground ball out. So we'll keep an eye on that.
2-2 now to Jennings.
Gibson, just 26 years old, making his 19th start. Just for Gibson, his 29th major league start.
Missing inside, and it's a full count.
He's done a great job against right-handed hitters. Right-handers hitting only .211 off of them. Left-handers .283. Opponents hitting .251 overall. He's done a good job of keeping the ball in the ballpark. Only 6 home runs allowed.
And a swinging strikeout, a foul tip. Suzuki hangs on 1-1.
And a good example why on that sinking fastball. Tough for right-handers to lay off of that sinker.
Northland Ford defense for the Twins. Danny Santana activated today. That means now that Sam Fuld is more of a utility outfielder. He's in left today. Oswaldo Arcia in right. Plouffe, Escobar, Dozier, Morales, the infielders, with Kurt Suzuki behind the plate. Josh Willingham, the designated hitter.
Yeah, Chris Herman optioned back to Rochester, and that made room for Santana, who was out in center field. Take a look at the sinker right here down to Jennings. Watch the movement on that pitch. Good sinker, perfect spot.
It would almost seem impossible that you could lift that pitch, that you could hit it hard through the air at all. You might be able to put the barrel on it and beat it into the ground, but how in the world, with the ball moving down like that, could you do anything but hit the top half of it?
Well, and then, you know, a lot of times that would end up right in the ankles of that right-handed hitter, too.
Dozier skitters to his right. 2 down. And that'll bring up Matt Joyce.
Yeah, Twins were out here early this afternoon going through some PFPs, pitcher fielding practice, and Ron Gardenhire wanted these guys, since they had 3-4 days off, just to get back in uniform and do some things together as a ball club before tonight's ball game.
Joyce, the designated hitter. Rays for the first 10 weeks of the season had a terrible time scoring runs. That's gotten better in this good stretch of baseball they've been playing. On one hop to Dozier, and a very good clean first inning for Kyle Gibson. For Kyle Gibson, and Ron Gardenhire's hoping his team can put together its best homestand in years. He's played even up against the Rays in his managerial career. And the Menards batting order for the opening game of this 3-game series. Danny Santana back with the big league club. Brian Dozier hitting second. Kendrys Morales third. Trevor Plouffe, Oswaldo Arcia, Josh Willingham, Kurt Suzuki, Eduardo Escobar, and Sam Fuld.
And it'll be 26-year-old Alex Cobb on the mound for the Rays, making his 13th start, his 11th since coming back off the disabled list, where he spent some time back in April and May with a strained left oblique. He has never faced the Twins before, other than spring training. Saw him a little bit in spring training, but making his first appearance against the Twins during the regular season.
The first of disabled Twins players to rejoin the lineup is Danny Santana. Was on a rehab assignment during the All-Star break. Didn't get any hits, but the Twins weren't the least bit concerned about that. They just wanted him to play and run pain-free. He accomplished that, so here he is in the leadoff spot and in center field. Strike one over the inside corner.
Yeah, Santana put on a disabled list back on June 27th with that left knee bone bruise.
Suffered it innocently, it seemed, running between first and second base. Didn't seem to be any twists or turns or anything. Just felt some pain, and the Twins shut him down. Santana pounds it foul, 2 strikes.
What the Twins will see from Cobb is a fastball, not overpowering, excellent control, very good curveball. That was a curveball that Santana fouled off. Mix in a slider and a very good changeup. In his 4th season with the Rays.
Tap foul, still 2 strikes.
Kind of a funky delivery that Cobb has. He really doesn't step back to create any momentum. He kind of has a little bit of a hesitation over the pitching rubber. And again, to get to the balance point, so many different pitchers do it differently.
2 strikes. And a tapper, right side. Figueroa has an easy play, 1 down. With Santana retired, Brian Dozier to the plate. Northland Ford defense for Tampa Bay. Ben Zobrist in left field. Jennings in center. Kevin Kiermaier in right, playing there in place of the injured Will Myers. Longoria, Escobar, Figueroa, and Loney around the infield. And Casale has just caught his first few major league pitches.
Yeah, both these ball clubs have committed 45 errors. Only the Orioles have committed fewer errors so far coming into this ball game during the season.
Dozier takes up high. He was in the home run derby on Monday night. More importantly, Sunday he hit 2 at Coors Field. Up to 18 home runs now on the season. I don't know that we would have ever thought that at this point in his 3rd major league season that Brian Dozier would have more home runs than stolen bases.
Well, the Twins overall have 70 home runs, and he has about a quarter of the home runs hit.
Hit hard, pulled foul.
Scoring runs, that's what Dozier's been able to do. He led the club last year with hitting 18 home runs.
And he is leading the league in runs scored with 69, and that's 3rd on the list before the All-Star break. Our Coors Light cold hard facts. Cesar Tovar, Rod Carew, and then Brian Dozier. Outside 2-2. It's amazing, though. Obviously, Carew hit for an average, and Tovar had some years too. Here's Dozier hitting just .242, but when you drive yourself in 18 times as he's done, you can steal some bases and draw some walks, which we haven't seen as much of in the last few weeks. He should be able to score some runs, and he's done that.
He sure has.
Full count to Dozier. Morales on deck. Tap foul. Might have got him on the foot.
Dozier, a couple of home runs on Sunday, as you mentioned, Dick. Home run number 17 and 18. A solo home run, and then in the 9th inning, a 3-run home run. Twins won that ball game 13-5.
And he hit 2 in the home run derby against his brother on Monday night. Popped up right side. James Loney with room for out number 2. That'll bring up Kendrys Morales, the first baseman, because Joe Mauer is still on the disabled list. Our Sanford Health injury report: a right oblique strain, has not been cleared to resume baseball activities. The best guess, and it's just a guess, would be somewhere around the end of the month. I would think Joe would be ready, but those things are very iffy, and they vary from person to person. Here's Morales.
Right.
Strike 1.
I guess a big thing about an oblique strain, now, you know, Cobb had one and he missed about 6 weeks with it, and you just don't know. But as you say, it's person to person, but with the severity of that oblique strain, it's kind of an individual thing.
1-1 to Morales. Spent the All-Star break in the Twin Cities, brought his family here for their first visit to Minnesota. Thought the weather was fantastic. And Morales spanks one to left between Longoria and the line, and Morales has a 2-out single.
Yeah, Dick, I saw that a little bit on the road too. Morales taking that pitch away. They're pitching him away. They think that he's going to try to pull that ball. Little ground ball to second, and Morales, I think, feeling more and more comfortable. Of course, he missed the first 3 months of the season, and right there, good sinker away, but Morales not trying to pull it, just went with it, and with the shift on, it left that big hole, and Morales gets a base hit.
I really think this guy is going to be a key for the Twins if they are to get to or above the 500 mark. Trevor Plouffe is going to have a very good second half, a better second half than first half. Twins need some pop in the lineup. Plouffe hitting cleanup there tonight. I think the Twins would like to find somebody to just leave there. Josh Willingham struggled in the cleanup spot. On the outside corner, 1-1.
I think one thing we have seen this year from Trevor Plouffe, even though the average is still at 245, all the doubles, third most in the American League, he is driving in some runs by extra base hits. Of course, the Twins would like to have him where he was a couple years ago when he hit 24 home runs. But I think the better contact, and if you talk to hitters, I mean, they're trying to hit the ball up the middle the other way. The mistake pitch can be driven out of the ballpark, and that's what they like to see Trevor do a little bit more of. 6 home runs so far on the year.
Hitters count 2-1, and a strike 2-2.
Cobb has been kind of stingy giving up home runs. He's given up 8. This is his 14th start. 4 wins, 6 losses coming into the ball game.
2-2. Jam shot. Cobb with a nice play from his knees, throws to Loney to end the inning. Morales left aboard. We've got a scoreless first inning.
Best athlete on the field.
to the second here at Target Field. It has been quite a week for Brian Dozier, who took part in the home run derby on Monday night. He called it a highlight not only of his career, but of his entire life. His older brother played through to him, and Brian says both of them were feeling the nerves, but he was able to crank out 2 home runs and have a lot of fun in the process. At one point, the home crowd started chanting his name. He said that is something he will never forget. So a very special week, Dick and Bert, for the Dozier family. And by the way, Clay Dozier returned to his small Mississippi hometown to a hero's welcome yesterday.
I'll bet he did. Thanks, Jamie. 1-1 now to Evan Longoria.
Well, it's kind of a dream come true, really, not only for Clay, but also for Brian to have your brother throw you, trying to the home run hitting contest. What a great thing.
And still, no one contacted you to throw.
No, you know what? If I could have hit in that, I would have asked my brother to do it, but he would have hit me. I know he would have.
1-2 to Longoria. He'll be followed by Loney and Escobar. Chopper to short. Gibson looks like he's in ground ball form here. 1 away. He's got a strikeout and 3 ground ball outs.
Well, he's got such a nice frame to get on top of that ball and create that sinker. At 6'6", about 210, Gibson, you can see the balance point where the knee is, and now what he needs to do is get to where once that foot hits the ground, then that arm comes through at that angle that he can create toward home plate at 6'6".
That's slow, though. I was going to say easy to steal on, though.
Yeah.
Outside, ball 1.
I mean, look at the movement on that pitch right here. Here we go. Now his left foot has made contact with the ground and then work out front. Ouch. Imagine, see what that arm goes through. If I had seen that when I first came up, I probably would have never been a pitcher. It looks like that would hurt. Remember we did Jarrett Weaver in Anaheim one time? And there's that right leg, and now he's going to bring that right leg through, and I think that's very important. See the bending of the back. He's reaching out. So many guys stand straight up and release that ball. He takes a lot of pressure off that right shoulder by following through and bending your back.
As good as he is, we'll see a little bit of what you're talking about from David Price tomorrow. David Price recoils and steps up. Might be the best pitcher in baseball, but
right.
1-2.
I always think when you bend your back, you're about another foot closer toward that catcher's glove. That's a breaking ball right there. Down and in.
Already a better start for Gibson against the Rays in St. Petersburg. He 6 of the first 7 batters reached in a 3-run first inning, and it didn't get a whole lot better after that. Now here tonight, a strikeout, 3 ground ball outs, and a 2-2 count to James Loney. To left center. Fold. Went into a slide, and the ball looked like it hit him in the chest.
He might have lost that ball in the lights right there.
He got there.
A lot of speed out in left field. Yeah, that ball kind of at that angle. It might have got caught in the lights. He went right here where he thought the ball was going to be. Pretty good pitch down, and Loney just kind of golfs it the other way. And Fold comes in. I think he lost it.
Yeah.
It'll be a base hit for Loney. First hit for the Rays.
And now Yunel Escobar.
Escobar just coming off the disabled list.
Towards Dozier, picked up out there, relay to first. Not in time. A good pivot by Eduardo Escobar. He got rid of it quickly, but not in time to get his counterpart.
We have seen Brian Dozier make some great plays at second base. Very steady this year. Now this ball, he's going to his left. Watch Dozier right here set his body up to be able to spin and get something on the throw. And then that allows Escobar. Watch this throw by Dozier, chest high to Escobar. And then Escobar, his job, get out of the way of the base runner and then feed that ball over to first base. But Escobar beat it out.
Here is the Tampa Bay second baseman Figueroa. He takes a strike. We were talking about Gibson's good outings, and he's off to a good start here. 7 times this year he has pitched at least 6 innings of shutout ball. And another ground ball out. A good second inning for Kyle Gibson, and we are scoreless after an inning and a half. Rather than your regular uniform, coat and tie like tonight, and you were the manager of the world team in the futures game.
Yeah, very proud. We ended up losing 3-2, but a very quick game. I think a well-pitched game, but I had a chance to work with Kenny Vargas. As you see him on your right, and there's a lot of comparisons between Vargas and David Ortiz, both of them from the Dominican Republic, and both of them very, very strong. I threw 15 minutes of batting practice, and Vargas was in that group, and I got a chance to see his power. You know, I mean, he had power to all fields, and he's going to be somebody that I think the Twins are going to be very happy at once he progresses right now at AA, and hopefully he'll be wearing a Twins uniform here in the next year or so.
Oswaldo Arcia made the jump from AA to the big leagues. He leads off the second inning and takes ball one. Arcia, Willingham, and Suzuki in the Twins' second.
You know, you mentioned Trevor Plouffe last inning, Dick, and you know, you think that he's one of the keys. This is another key. Actually, the Twins have a lot of keys that really need to turn it around and get it going if they want to get back into the race. You know, Arcia has got so much talent, and I know Tom Bernansky has really been working with him on that, you know, hands up high, then lowers it, and seems to be a little bit slow at times, missing a lot of pitches. And hopefully these at-bats he'll get in the second half will be more consistent.
Chop right to the shortstop, or the third baseman rather, Longoria there, and he throws to first, one down. That'll bring up Josh Willingham. Target Field suites are available for single game rental for groups of 16 to 96. You can choose from the intimate Premier Suites, the flexible event suites, or the spacious Skyline Suite at Target Field. Food and beverage included in every purchase. Find out more at twinsbaseball.com/groups, or call 800-33-TWINS and fill out a suite at a Twins game.
So far, both pitchers getting ground ball outs. Gibson, 5 of his 6 outs have come off the ground. And so far, 3 of the 4 outs recorded by Cobb have been ground ball outs.
Here's Willingham, and now he's hitting into, through, or over a pull shift as a right-handed batter. The Rays, one of the first teams to do a lot of shifting, and if anything, they're doing even more this year. Arcia was shifted. Willingham shifted.
There's Joe Madden right there.
Morales.
Madden in his 9th season as manager of the Tampa Bay Rays. 2-time manager of the year. Chance this afternoon early to talk to Joe about his ball club, and you know, the way that they've been playing, he feels that they can get back into this race. They come into this ball game 9.5 games in 4th place behind the Baltimore Orioles.
Now, in a normal year, with the American League East being really, really good, you'd say, well, that's a pretty tall order. But the American League East this year is not a good division. It might be the weakest division. 3-2 now to Willingham. And we showed you the numbers before. The Rays at the end of June turned a corner. They've won roughly 2/3 of their games going back about a month.
13-5 over the last 18 ball games. Offense picking it up. Very good starting staff and a good pitching staff overall.
And a changeup left up high to Willingham. He reaches with a 1-out walk. We'll bring up Suzuki. Time now for you to tweet a photo using hashtag #NorthFanPhoto for a chance to have it shown in an upcoming game broadcast brought to you by AT&T. Kurt Suzuki had quite a thrill catching the end of the All-Star game, catching his teammate Glenn Perkins in the 9th inning.
I had a chance to ask him. I said, well, did you have a good time? And it's just big smile. I mean, huge smile. He said, yeah, that was the best.
I asked him the same question a different way, I guess. I said, was it everything you'd hoped for? He said, and more.
Right.
They did not know before the game that they would be paired, Suzuki and Perkins, together for the 9th inning.
I think you have to tip your hat to John Farrell in allowing that to happen.
And doing what he could to make it happen. He told the guys during the game, look, here's what we're going to try to set up for you, which for a couple of hometown team players was the ultimate, right? You didn't get a chance to start, but more importantly, who's on the field at the end of the game? 1 strike and Suzuki takes 2. Didn't get a chance to hit in the All-Star game. Two strikes to Suzuki, hitting .309 at the break. Just off the plate, 1 and 2. Suzuki said that his favorite part of the whole celebration was the parade earlier in the day. The parade, red carpet parade that brought the players to Target Field.
I tell you what, I was in a truck with Tony Oliva and Paul Molitor, and Rod Carew was in front, so we were the second vehicle out. And the people that were on Nicollet was unbelievable. I felt, believe it or not, I felt like we had just won the World Series in '87. The way the turnout was.
Wow, that's awesome.
Without the confetti.
2-2 to Suzuki. Down the line, but foul.
Here's the final out here on Tuesday night. The ground ball out, allowing the American League to beat the National League 5-3.
Perkins, the first Minnesota native to play for the Twins at home in an All-Star game in front of his hometown crowd. 2-2 again to Suzuki. Lifted to left. Zobrist hardly has to move. 2 away. Well, congratulations to the Twins organization, Major League Baseball, anybody who had a hand in it. I just thought that the whole part that I was here for, starting Monday morning, just went flawlessly. We had the 1 hour or so delay for the home run hitting contest, but if anything, that was made more memorable because of the rainbow, the wonderful rainbow that arced over the ballpark right after the rain stopped. Here is Escobar. Escobar caught a little bit of a spark on the last road trip, got the average back up into the 270s. Hit a home run at Coors Field. Off the plate outside, ball 1.
Cobb making his 68th Major League start, 29 Major League wins.
And a liner to center, a base hit. Willingham decides second base is far enough. And that'll bring Sam Fuld to the plate with 2 men aboard.
Yep, a lot of viewers watch the All-Star game. Biggest since 2010. Almost 1.5 million viewers.
And almost, well, 8.5 million roughly donated by MLB and the Twins, leaving a lasting impact in this community long after the event was held.
And I think they have to be very happy at FanFest. Look at all the people that went. Almost 115,000 people went to FanFest.
Here's Sam Fuld. The playing field itself survived the crush of humanity and the pressure put on this field during the festival, if you want to call it that. The biggest repair work had to be done between the dugouts in foul territory. That area had to be resodded because of the high number of members of the media were crushing the grass around the infield in foul territory. One lifted to left, and Zobrist retreats to make the catch. The Twins get a couple of men aboard, leave them there. On to the third, no score.
Your link to what's next. By Northland Ford. Visit northlandford.com and your local Northland Ford dealers today. And by Grand Casino. The best stories start here.
Dick and Bird with you from Target Field. Start of the third inning. Kurt Casale in his first major league at bat takes strike one from Kyle Gibson.
Yeah, Casale just getting called up. Ryan Hannigan, the backup catcher, everyday catcher for the Rays, put on a disabled list with an oblique strain.
And his first at bat, he lines a drive to right center field. He's on board with a leadoff single. And Kyle Gibson won't have a chance to use that baseball anymore. They'll take it out. And that'll bring up the number 9 batter, Kevin Kiermaier.
Everybody needs a spark plug, and Joe Maddon said this guy has been their spark plug. There's the Mall of America scouting report. Kiermaier has a guy that will take the extra base, and here Joe Maddon was talking about the doubles that he is able to get this year. It's because of the way he gets out of the box. Not only good offensively, hitting over 300, but also a very good defensive play.
10 doubles, 4 triples, 8 home runs.
A couple stints, and you know, with Will Myers on the disabled list, Kiermaier getting a chance to play. Joe Maddon called him go-go. He's just ready to go. When he's in uniform, he's ready to fly somewhere. if not offensively, defensively.
Fold this time, makes the catch and flips it back towards the infield. Virtually the same play to the same spot of the field as Loney's drive in the second inning. This time he made the catch.
It almost looked like he told Santana, yeah, that ball was a little bit above the lights. Gilmeyer hitting the ball the other way, and Fold slides, gets it, and then all in one motion gets it back toward the infield. Nice sliding catch by Sam Fold, who wore a Rays uniform for 3 years, and that's exactly what he did in Tampa that Joe Madden loved about him, and the fans down there.
Here's Desmond Jennings. A strike. Jennings struck out on a foul tip to start the ball game. Jennings has had a disappointing year so far, hitting below 250.
8 of 10 first pitch strikes for Kyle Gibson.
A lot of strikeouts for Jennings, about 1 every 4 at bats. And he's grounded into 10 double plays.
Now that's a lot for a guy with Jennings' speed.
Tap foul, 1-2.
I mentioned as a Ray, Sam Ford was diving all over the place, then called the Devil Rays. Kind of a fan favorite when he was up with the Rays.
Super Sam.
Yep.
1-2. When he became available, I think the Twins positioned him as being a 4th outfielder on a good team because he's already been that. He was the extra outfielder on some pretty good Tampa Bay teams. 2-2. Oh, off of Gibson and over to Morales, and now Gibson got to the bag. Morales couldn't find the handle. That would have been a tailor-made double play grounder to Dozier, but Gibson deflected it toward the first baseman.
Now, your first reaction as a pitcher, once you let that ball go, you'd like to be able to field your position. And Gibson right here, it hits to his left. As you can see, kind of ricocheted off his glove. And then right there, Morales had a little tough time getting a handle on that baseball over to Gibson. It'll be an infield base hit credited to Jennings, puts runners at first and second.
And now Ben Zobrist.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, if you let that ball go, Dozier's right there, probably an easy double play.
Zobrist hit a ground ball to Dozier his first time up. Well, the names have popped up in trade rumors regarding the Rays if they don't jump, and they have to do it with both feet here in the time remaining in July if they don't jump back into the race. David Price, tomorrow's starter, and this guy, Ben Zobrist, who would be a great addition to a contending ball club. He can play so many different positions.
Yeah, one of the longest tenured players for the Rays. This is his 9th season with the Rays. 2-time All-Star.
2-0.
Now Gibson's been able to get 15 double plays turned behind him in his first 19 starts. This is what Gibson would like, that little sinker down and away, maybe get another ground ball. Suzuki will sit a little bit outside. That's a good pitch, just misses.
3-0, Joyce on deck.
That's the one you want the hitter, if he's aggressive, to hit, especially in a hitter's count, but Zobrist took it for ball 3. Just outside, says Fox Tracks.
At the knees, pretty much where the second pitch was. Three and 1. And a walk will fill him up for Joyce. Leadoff single in Casale's first major league at bat. Kind of a flukish infield hit. Now a walk with only one out in the inning, and that came on a line drive and a nice catch by Sam Fuld in left. Joyce hit a ground ball to Dozier.
See if he could do it again. Joyce has hit into 7 double plays.
What the Twins want Gibson to do, and Suzuki will go out to the mound now after ball 1. He's had extraordinary starts and then the awful ones. They want to find him or let him find a way to have an effective outing when he doesn't have his best stuff. Now, I'm not so sure that that's the case here tonight. He looks like he's got pretty good stuff. The ball's moving all over the place.
I don't understand. What's your good stuff and your best stuff? You know, your best stuff is when you get the hitter out. It's the adjustments you have to make out there. Right now, I think Suzuki went out there because that first pitch was a changeup, but he kind of hung it like he tried to guide it. Now, I think Suzuki said, hey, let it fly. Just keep the ball down. Hopefully, we'll get a ground ball right here.
Popped up wide of third. Plouffe with room.
All right, good job.
2 down.
So you kind of let that ball go a little bit sometimes out there, especially if you have a control issue sometimes. In Gibson, you know what? He's not a strikeout pitcher. He's averaged about 4 strikeouts per 9. So he relies on ground ball outs. This ball right there, sometimes you just get away with a pitch. That ball's straight up, but you know, Joyce got himself out by popping it up.
And now he'll try to get Longoria and leave the bases full. In his last start, pitching coach Rick Anderson and Ron Gardenhire thought they saw improvement from Gibson in that regard. They didn't feel he had his best stuff. Gave up 7 hits, but he pitched 6 shutout innings against the Mariners. One and 0 to Longoria. Now he falls behind the cleanup batter, 2-0.
I think when you're young like Gibson at this level, you know, even though, you know, he's 26 years old, he went through the Tommy John surgery, just making his 29th start. You're going to go out there and have to make the adjustment. It's how quick you can make an adjustment, and you need some luck on your side too right here.
Deep to right center field. Arcia chasing it to the wall, and he can't make the play. With 2 outs, everybody's running, so the bases will clear, and Longoria, with a bases clearing double, makes it 3-0.
Yeah, that was unlucky because he fell behind an account 2-0. That's some of your luck and not luck. So he had to come in with a pitch right here to a very good hitter in Evan Longoria. And Longoria didn't try to pull it, just hit it the other way. His 14th double of the year. Just out of the reach of Arcia as he bangs into the wall. So a 3-run double for Longoria gives the Rays a 3-0 lead.
Now Longoria 1 RBI shy of the franchise record for runs batted in, held by Carl Crawford. Here's Loney, a single, his first time up. Singled off of Sam Fuld, who appeared to lose the low line drive on the lights. Rays have a lot of things going for them. They have played really good baseball over the last 3 weeks or so. They've always played well here. They are 12-4 here at Target Field, and tonight a quick 3-0 start. One and 1.
And now Gibson starting to fall behind. The first 9 batters he has faced, able to get 8 of 9 first pitch strikes.
3-1, and these are the type of innings that we have seen from Gibson in some of those other starts where he just seems like he needs a tourniquet out there to stop the bleeding. It's already a 3-run inning, and first base is open. Escobar on deck.
A great first and second inning. Too many pitches here in the third.
And that one will skip to Dozier. He picks it up. Now he's going to throw home. Another alert play by Brian Dozier. He did it in Colorado, and he did it again here to end the third inning. Longoria tried to score, and Dozier alertly threw home to get him by 15 feet. Get the Twins off the field after a long top of the third inning.
You know, sometimes these shifts put that second baseman in the short right field. Dozier slides, picks up, and then Tom Foley, the third base coach, sends Longoria. Bad decision right there. Dozier, very nice play.
Similar, but not as startling as the play he made in Colorado before the All-Star break. We'll show you that in a little bit. 3-0. The Twins find themselves behind, and now the Twins will get their second look at Alex Cobb. Couple of hits on a walk, first time through the Twins batting order. Santana bounced to second his first time up. Showing bunt and taking strike one. Two strikes. It's amazing the guy doesn't have 150 major league at bats. He has even fewer AAA at bats, and yet when he went down with his bone bruise, Ron Gardenhire called him the catalyst of the team. I mean, this guy has really his career has spiked upward very quickly through AAA and up to the big leagues, where staying healthy he might find himself as a big leaguer for a long time.
Well, I hope so. The Twins hope so. A switch hitter with a lot of speed.
Hit 297 at Double-A for the Twins last year, and was called up shortly after the season started. 1-2, trying to get aboard here in the bottom of the third. And he swings at a pitch down and in. One away.
Yeah, that's that changeup right there. It's almost like a little split finger changeup. A good location, and Cobb picks up his first strikeout.
Tomorrow, Fox is your home for baseball, beginning at 2:30 p.m. on Fox Sports 1. It's a doubleheader as Yasiel Puig and the Dodgers take on the Cardinals, followed by the Indians battling the Tigers. 5:30 p.m. on Fox Sports North. Game 2 between the Twins and Rays from Target Field. Detroit has a 3-0 lead over Cleveland in the 6th inning at Comerica Park. Over the inside corner, strike one. On it in the air and a foul ball. Is it the changeup that would explain, and his reluctance to use it maybe against a right-handed batter, why right-handers fare so much better against Cobb than left-handers?
Well, he saw the breaking ball, to right-handers. He doesn't, leave a couple up there, and he might get hurt. Right-handers hitting 286, left-handers only 199. Well, it looks right now he's hitting his spots.
Tap foul.
That looked like that split finger again. It looked like a changeup. Bernansky helping out Trevor Plouffe.
Two strikes. Just off the outside corner, 1-2.
Cobb last year had pitcher's nightmare when Eric Hosmer back in June hit him in the right ear with a line drive, put him on a concussion list. Missed 2 months. I think you walk out there as a pitcher and you just, you take sometimes it for granted how close you are once you release that ball toward home plate. Home plate to the pitcher's mound, 60 feet 6 inches, and then you take that stride and you end up about 55, 54 feet from that hitter.
Now, where Cobb got hit, the padded cap would not have helped. It was down below the cap line.
I've seen that padded cap, and I would be very surprised if anybody goes out to the mound with that helmet. It doesn't protect your temple area. It doesn't protect your ears.
Dozier with a good at bat and a line drive single with 1 out in the 3rd.
Twins pick up their 3rd hit. You've seen that cap, I believe, have you not?
It's
unique. But how many hitters have been hit on top of the head?
You mean pitchers.
Or pitchers, excuse me.
Here is Kendrys Morales. Beat the shift with a single, and the shift has already been modified. It might be because of the runner at first. But Morales hit one between Evan Longoria and the 3rd base line for a base hit in the 1st inning.
Yeah, with that base hit, Morales in his last at bat now on a 7-game hitting streak. Excuse me, an 8-game hitting streak. 9 hits in his last 30 at bats.
We've seen the batting average start to come up, but the Twins have not seen yet the power they hope to see from Morales. Popped up left field.
His only home run coming in Anaheim against the left-hander C.J. Wilson.
2 down. That'll bring up Plouffe. Twins season ticket holders enjoy 10% off concessions and merchandise at Target Field. 2014 season tickets are still available. You can call 800-33-TWINS or visit twinsbaseball.com. Find out how you can join the Twins season ticket family. Take advantage of this and other perks all season ticket holders qualify for at Target Field. Can't say All-Star Game ticket priority anymore because it's gone. Been here and left. Plouffe takes a strike.
I got to ask you, did you enjoy your All-Star?
Oh, I did. Break? Yes, it was great. We came in Sunday night from Colorado to begin the break and just did a lot of All-Star activities Monday and Tuesday. Went to the game and then went up to the lake and enjoyed a couple of days on the water. In the water, there goes Dozier, and the pitch swung on and a foul ball. Dozier will have to retreat to first. Plouffe got a piece of it. Dozier got a great jump, 2 strikes.
Yeah, Dozier was after his 17th stolen base, but Trevor Plouffe, a breaking ball that had just got a piece of and fouled it off. Catch any fish? Did you go fishing?
Caught a couple. Yeah, they were small ones. They were small ones. Catch and release. 2 strikes. A couple of really small ones.
Were they
it's
bigger than your bait?
Well, barely, actually. 2 strikes to Plouffe.
There's been 7 stolen bases against Cobb in 8 tries.
Outside, 1-2. Well, the Twins have made Cobb work a little bit. He's up to, as you see, 55 pitches, trying to get the 9th out of the night. Deep to left field. This ball is hit hard, and it is gone. A home run for Trevor Plouffe.
That looked like a changeup right there, left up, and Trevor Plouffe makes it a 3-2 ball game with his 7th home run.
A big 2-out hit, putting the Twins back within 1.
Remember his last at bat, we talked about the doubles, about, you know what, just, and if your pitcher makes a mistake, looked like an off-speed pitch. And Trevor just went down, a little uppercut swing, and it just barely went over the wall. Where did that fan reach over? I believe there's still that flower bed right there. So Trevor Plouffe with a 2-run home run. Makes it a 3-2 game. Ninth home run that Cobb has allowed.
1-0 to Archie. Ground ball to third his first time up. 1-1. Probably an adjustment that all young hitters go through. I just think that Archie is at a stage now where he's almost trying to feel for the ball to make contact. And he rolls it to Escobar, and that ends the inning. Trevor Plouffe with a 2-run home run. We have a 3-2 game heading to the 4th. Play that Dozier made on Saturday at Coors Field.
Yeah, kind of ricocheted off of the glove of Kevin Correa, and then Dozier makes a one-hop throw to that Fryer for the put out. And here, just over the glove of Gibson, and then Dozier in the air. Nice throw to Suzuki.
And already the first out of the 4th inning, Escobar retired. And when Dozier made the play in Colorado, Ron Gardenhire thought to himself, in fact, I think he verbalized it to whoever was standing next to him, where is he throwing the ball? And then, you know, there it was, the 3rd out at home plate, and similar play here to wrap up the 3rd inning. Both plays occurring in the 3rd inning. after Loney's single. It was Longoria thrown out.
Yeah, with all these shifts, Dozier out in short right field, he's going to have an outfielder's arm. Start playing catch with the outfielders.
1-0. Two-0. Figueroa with a ground ball to Dozier. Routine play in the second.
Yeah, important inning right here. The Twins just got you back into the ball game, Kyle Gibson. I'll put a 0 on the board.
Another ball beaten into the ground to Dozier. 2 down. And that'll bring up Kurt Casale. CarSoup.com trivia question right out of the break. Here we go. When was the last time the Twins finished above 500 in a season series with the Tampa Bay Rays? The Twins took 2 out of 3 down in St. Petersburg in April and have a chance to win the season series if they can win this 3-game series. Casale started the 3-run third by getting his first major league hit in his first major league at bat. He later scored his first major league run.
Casale, 25 years old, started the season in Double-A, advanced to Triple-A, and now here up with the Rays. 4 minor league seasons, a career .280 hitter. Signed by the Detroit Tigers back in 2011. Came over to the Ray organization a couple years ago.
Still 2 strikes. Oh, 0-2. Rays catcher. 1-2.
Hey, we want to send our best wishes to Pat Cream. She had an accident here the other night, and she went through successful surgery yesterday, and she's on her way back to the Twin Cities. Had the surgery down in Rochester at the Mayo.
Had an accident at the gala reception over at the Old Mill. 2-2.
I know Pat wants to thank Dr. Steves because he was there helping her.
And the ball lands, and Escobar takes the hop, throws to first. A 1-2-3-4, 3 ground ball out. Stay tuned for this important message from Mesh, Besher, and Spence. Only in Minnesota can you take a bike ride on the famous 42-mile paved Root River State Bike Trail. The southeastern Minnesota Trail winds along 300-foot towering limestone bluffs, dense hardwood forests, quaint small towns, For more unique travel ideas, visit exploreminnesota.com. Post your experiences to #OnlyInMN. Minnesota has more biking trails than any other state, including 2,500 miles of rail to trail, railroad tracks converted to multi-use trails. The upper Midwest was represented very well by this ballpark, this organization, and during the All-Star break you get a lot of national attention, and I think a lot of people were impressed with the goings on here, the lifestyle here.
Yeah, speaking of bike trails and stuff, Brian Anderson, the analyst for the Rays, has a little bit of a wrist injury. He got a new bike during the All-Star break and was riding it down in Florida and fell off.
Really?
Yeah.
Didn't come with training wheels?
That's what I asked him. I asked him, did you get back on that bike? And he said he did.
One strike to Willingham, and now a ball, 1-1. Willingham, Suzuki, and Escobar in the 4th inning. All the runs scored in the 3rd. Longoria's 3-run double, Plouffe's 2-run home run. A mile in the air behind second base. Escobar out, Jennings in. Jennings puts it away, 1 down. Interesting news in baseball today. The Astros, trying to rebuild their fan base, could not come to terms with their #1 draft pick, Brady Aiken, the #1 overall draft pick. He is just the first overall pick to not sign with the team that drafted him. Danny Goodwin back in 1971, I believe that was with the White Sox. But then Tim Belcher was drafted by the Twins in 1983, #1 overall, didn't sign. And now Brady Aiken, with providing more skepticism for an Astro fan base that doesn't need him.
Well, Astros, I believe, were a little leery because of the MRI results of that left elbow.
1 strike to Suzuki. But when you, in essence, tell your fan base, we're not going to be very good, we're going to rebuild, but we're going to stockpile draft picks, and we promise you we're going to be a winner, then you need to follow through with your end of the bargain, don't you?
Well, you still have to realize, I believe they ended up offering him, I believe, $5 million to this high school kid, and he turned it down. So, yeah, I mean, I think the cap was a little over $6 million, and Cobb gets a strikeout of Suzuki, his 2nd strikeout. But here you got a young man that's, now going to go to college. If the MRI results saying that there's some issues in that elbow area, he's taking quite a risk.
I think
and if you're the Astro organization, how far do you go?
Right. I think the response by Aiken and his agent was more along the lines of broken promises, and this was what was promised to us, and then you reneged on your offer. Not trying to justify either side on the issue, but I feel bad for the Astro fans because they have really been put through a miserable period. 1 strike to Escobar.
I'll look at the Astro organization. They are already offered the young man, after all the results saying there is some issues, of $5 million. We'll take that risk. What if he goes down after 1 year? Now, you could say, well, this is a future big leaguer, but you don't know.
Two strikes, with Cobb getting ahead of everybody here in the 4th inning.
Escobar base hit in his last at bat, hit a pretty good breaking ball down and in like that, but this time a ground ball out.
To Figueroa, now to Loney in a 1-2-3 4th inning.
commercial, now is a great time to become a part of the home ice advantage for the Minnesota Wild. Wild are currently installing a new HD LED center-hung video board. It is nearly 6 times larger than the current scoreboard, and it stretches blue line to blue line. Now, the official unveiling is planned for the Wild's first preseason home game, September 27th against the Winnipeg Jets. This technology upgrade has been provided by Daktronics of Brookings, South Dakota, and Redwood Falls, Minnesota, guys.
All right, thank you, Jamie.
Very nice.
Kyle Gibson gave up 3 runs in the third, came back with a strong fourth. He'll face the number 9 batter, Kevin Kiermaier. Kiermaier sent a sinking line drive to left. Sam Fuld made a nice play on it. It was the first out of what turned into a 3-run inning. One and one.
Kiermaier, only 24 years old, started in the minor leagues. This is his 3rd stint with the Rays this year.
One of 6 rookies on the squad right now. They've had 12 different rookies play for them this year. 1 and 2. Two and two.
Hard breaking ball down and in. Kiermaier having to move his feet. That's nothing new for Joe Madden, really, to deal with young kids that hopefully will come up and do well. They've done well over the last 4 or 5 years as an organization.
It's going to be a tough play. Suzuki fires. Got him. What a play. Kiermaier, as he goes down the line, asking for a review and a challenge.
And here comes manager Joe Madden. George Hendrick right there, the first base coach. Great play by Suzuki. Bare hands it, all in one motion. Spun around. Good strong throw.
Safe. This one will be successfully challenged. Nothing Suzuki could do about it.
You can't make a better play than Suzuki did right there. And that's what Joe Madden was talking about Kiermaier, the way that he comes out of the box. He comes out hustling. And that might have gotten him an infield base hit right there. Kind of a swinging bunt.
And Joe Madden pretty confident of the outcome here.
Suzuki, great play, but the speed of Kiermaier and his hustle. Yep. Got that right foot on the bag before the ball could get into the center of Morales' glove. And Hunter Wendelstedt, the crew chief and home plate umpire, saying that he did beat it out.
So a leadoff single for the speedy Kiermaier. And now Desmond Jennings. Jennings singled. And it was Jennings' single that really was a tough break for Gibson. It was a smash hit over the mound. It was headed right for Dozier, who would have been able to turn 2 and get the Twins off the field. But Gibson deflected it over to Morales.
Yeah, you got to take the bunt away, and that's what I thought right there. I was sensing bunt right there all along. 6th sacrifice of the year for Jennings.
Runner at second, 1 out for Zobrist. Indians have put 7 runs up on the Tigers in the 7th inning. Lead Detroit 7-3. A lot of teams in the American League Central that have recent history of being really good second half teams. Cleveland last year, Kansas City the last couple of years. The Twins hope to join that group. Put a little heat on the Tigers. Zobrist drew a walk, scored a run his last time up. Escobar cut behind the runner, and Gibson delivered to the plate.
You got to keep an eye on your shortstop. He gives you that open glove. If anything, when you shoot that shortstop break, the best thing to do is just step off. You want that shortstop standing at second base when you deliver home.
Gibson falls behind 2-1. Had problems throwing strikes to Zobrist in the third. Three and one, a base open, Joyce on deck.
Gibson has one walk, one strikeout. Giving up 6 hits.
Blasted to right. And off the top of the wall and gone. A 2-run home run for Zobrist. And the lead is back to 3.
Well, he did the same thing with Longoria when he fell behind. He went with that 4-seam fastball. It's just location. Fell behind on Zobrist, went in with that 4-seam fastball and left it right there, right down the heart of the plate. And Zobrist, who's had some of his best games against the Twins, connects with a home run, a 2-run home run, making it a 5-2 Rays lead.
Now Matt Joyce 0 for 2, a ground ball to second and a foul out to Plouffe in the third. And again falling behind. 68 pitches for Gibson, 39 strikes, 29 balls. Tapped up the line, easy play for Morales, and out number 2.
Gibson pretty stingy on not allowing home runs coming into this ball game. Only 6 on the year, making his 20th start. Second time this year he's allowed 2 home runs in a game. The other time he allowed 2 home runs in that game in San Francisco.
Here's Longoria, drove in 3 runs with a double out of the reach of Arcia and off the wall in right center. Swing and a miss, 1 strike.
And I got to be correct. That's the first home run that Gibson has allowed. So I take all that back. In this game.
In this game, yes. One
I guess when Longoria hit the double, I was
felt like a home run.
Felt
didn't
like
it?
a home run, yes.
1-2. Missed the inside corner. Ball punched to right. A base hit for Longoria. And that'll bring Loney to the plate.
You know, I'm just looking at Gibson. There aren't too many starts. You mentioned earlier 7 times in the first 19 starts he's given up no runs in 6 or more innings.
Right.
7 times, and then it's the other starts is, you know, where he has that 9 earned run average in 9 games where he's 0-7. But he hasn't had one where he's, say, you know, given up 3 runs in 6, 7 innings. It's either 0 or 5, 6, or 7 runs.
Imagine a couple of bookends with no books in the middle. That's kind of where his season is.
Right.
Missing the inside corner.
I'll show him again. 9 starts, he's 8-0. 9 starts, he's 0-7. And quite a difference.
when this team gets really good again, they will get good again with a starting staff where it's not so much a toss of the coin, where you know that somebody's going to give you a real good chance to win night in and night out. You know, it's impressive to have the great starts that he's had, but you know, he's going through all this on a full-time basis up here for the first time. This is his first full year in the big leagues.
Well, you have to take the good with the bad, and that's exactly what it's been. Good and bad. 50-50.
Here tonight, assuming he gets through the 5th inning here with the Twins trailing 5-2, that's 5 earned runs in 5 innings, and that's, let me see, that's an ERA of 9.
Very good.
Tap to the right side. Dozier will have a play. And that ends it. But in the inning, a 2-run home run by Ben Zobrist, and the Rays lead by 3 again.
Caught up. Well, what I thought felt like a home run. Evan Longoria hit a 3-run double that in the 3rd inning. That gave the Rays a early 3-0 lead. But in the bottom of the inning, Trevor Plouffe hitting his 7th home run, a 2-run home run, giving the Twins getting back into the game, still down 3-2. But then we just saw Ben Zobrist with a 2-run home run to make it a 5-2 Rays lead. For Zobrist, his 7th home run of the year.
So the Twins are trying to work their way back from this deficit. You see fans of the game enjoying a very pleasant night under the clouds here at Target Field.
And pretty blessed with the weather. It's perfect baseball weather. Guess it's going to get a little warmer.
A little muggy in the next few days now. Here's Sam Fuld. In the bottom of the 5th, Twins, after giving up 3 runs in the top of the 3rd, answered with a pair in the bottom of the inning. We'll see if they can get something on the board here in the bottom of the 5th. That's hit high to right field, but it'll come down to Kiermaier. 1 down in the 5th. Let's find Jamie Hirsch.
Thank you, guys. Well, Joe Maddon is known to employ some unconventional methods to try to help his team win. Twice already this season, he's brought in a Seminole medicine man to try to exorcise any bad mojo at Tropicana Field. And it didn't provide any immediate results. The Rays actually lost both games after the medicine man visited. But just one example of how Maddon is trying to keep things loose with his guys. And another example is he just had them do a spring training in July exercise this last homestand, where every day they would get out there and do drills and extra BP to try to keep them fresh. So that's a couple examples of the way that Joe Maddon manages and tries to get his team back on the winning track.
He was, I think, the first manager to put into place themed road trips, which was intended to break up the monotony of the road, and it can get monotonous when you're spending half your summer out of a suitcase. And I think a lot of teams have picked up on that. I know the Twins have. It was a monochrome suit wear that was used on a couple of road trips ago. Everybody in their garish colors had to dress in one color.
Yeah, I think I remember Joe Madden 2-3 years ago had everybody on a short road trip. I believe it was 3 games. They wore all white the whole road trip. White shoes, white pants.
They've had
shirt.
Western road trips where you had to dress up like a cowboy.
Yippee-ki-yay.
This year's trip was a Woodstock themed trip to Seattle. They got off the plane and they blended right in. 2-2 to Santana with 1 gone in the 5th.
Cobb against Santana, throwing that breaking ball a lot down and into Santana in all 3 at-bats. Santana ground ball to second base in his first at-bat. Then he struck out against Cobb in the 3rd.
Tap to the right side off the glove of Loney. And Santana will reach, run an infield hit. Hit it in a really good spot.
Yeah, Loney, very good glove at first base. Just out of his reach. Diving to his right is Loney. You see it hit right off the tip of his glove. And caromed over towards second base. So Santana with an infield hit. Twins get their 4th hit of the ball game. Excuse me, their 5th.
Dozier singled. Scored his 70th run of the year. He came in on Plouffe's 2-run home run. Santana, of course, a threat to steal, even down by 3 runs. The Twins have seen Santana steal successfully 6 out of 7 times. And the catcher for the Rays, Kurt Casale, playing in his first major league game.
Ooh.
And Dozier got hit on the hand. And Joe Maddon's going to come out and say he offered at the bunt.
Yeah, it sure looked like he squared around the bunt and the ball kind of ran in on him. Dozier square around right here.
No, he did not offer at it. He squared, but he didn't offer.
As you slide that right hand up, I think that's where it got him.
Like the ring finger on his right hand. Dozier appears to be okay, and he will reach with 1 out, and that'll bring Morales to the plate. This is not a reviewable play because he was, well, I beg your pardon, it is. A hit batter is, but whether a pitcher or whether a batter actually offered to the pitch, I didn't understand that to be a reviewable play.
Well, sometimes Joe Madden, I mean, managers can try to convince that umpire to challenge it.
Basically, what you're challenging here is whether it was a strike, which is not a reviewable play. At least by my understanding, obviously it is.
I'll take a look again. The see ball ran in on Dozier. That's going to be tough to call.
Basically, what you're reviewing here is whether the pitch should be called a strike or not.
No, it definitely wasn't a strike.
Well, I mean, but because it hit the bat.
Right, right.
So the play being reviewed. And Joel, you can read his lips saying that ball hit the bat. I don't know how you could have clear and convincing evidence that it did not hit his finger. just the way he reacted. I suspect that if the call is overturned, it'll soon be followed by an ejection. Because I can't believe anybody in the Twins dugout is going to be too happy if this call is overturned. Hunter Wendelstedt, a second-generation Major League umpire. Area umpire, his father. And the gentleman with the other headset, also a second-generation umpire, Mike DeMuro, whose father Lou was umpire in the American League for many, many years.
His dad, Lou, he was behind the plate a lot when I pitched. Very good umpire.
They all were.
Yes.
I mean, because you had separate umpiring crews, and so there were many was the time you had, I suppose, one home plate umpire for 5 or 6 of your starts.
Sure did. I think it's harder right now to pitch, Dick, because of that. You know, I think back in the 70s and 80s, you knew who was behind the plate. Nowadays, with the rotation of both leagues together, take another look right here.
Well, they're going to confirm the call. And so there will be runners at first and second. And now Jim Hickey's going to come out to the mound to talk to Cobb.
The hit batsman by Cobb, his 6th hit batsman of the year.
That's got to be a tough challenge. You know, now Joe Maddon's close enough to home plate. He may have heard the ball hit the bat, but it can hit the bat and hit a player's finger and be ruled a hit by pitch.
I think through our headset, I heard like bat.
Right. Mainly, the biggest concern is Dozier's not hurt by the hit batter at all. Let's take a listen to the pitch as it was delivered to Dozier, who now is at first base. Santana at second. Speed runners on for Kendrys Morales. Here's the pitch. That sounded like bat.
Yeah, it did.
But doesn't mean that it couldn't have caught a bit of the finger too.
Right. Which it looks like it did.
Morales lifts it foul into the seats over the tarp. Big spot here for Morales and the Twins. They've just seen the Rays get 2 more runs to open up another 3-run lead, and a great chance here with the leadoff batter and number 2 batter on board with 1 out. Nice block by Casale. There's a pretty good breeze blowing in from right field. Morales, or any left-handed hitter who wants to hit one out, better hit it hard. It didn't bother Zobrist, obviously, in the top of this inning. I'm not so sure the wind was blowing that hard when Zobrist hit his about 20 minutes ago. 1-1. Sky to center. Santana will retreat to second. Dozier to first. And Santana will advance. Dozier will not. 2 down for Trevor Plouffe. Plouffe with a comebacker to the mound. Cobb made a nice play in the first inning and then cranked a 2-run home run just over the wall in left in the third.
Yeah, this in the third inning looked like a change up down, but it's a line drive home run that made it a 3-2 ball game. And Trevor Plouffe, that was his 7th home run of the year.
He went into the break threatening to hit for the cycle Sunday at Coors Field. Needed everything, or hit everything but a home run. Takes a ball. Plouffe on Sunday had in order a double, triple, and a single, and he had 1 at bat in the 8th inning Sunday to hit the home run and complete the cycle. He didn't get it. He got it in his 2nd at bat here in the 3rd. 1-0 for the Twins' third baseman. And a fastball down the middle. 1-1. I mentioned this before. What I look for from a run producer, an average of at least one extra base hit every 10 at bats. If a guy's doing that, he should drive in some runs. Now, in Plouffe's case, 300 at bats and 36 extra base hits. Ground ball to short here. That'll end the inning. The Twins leave 2 more aboard. We head to the 6th with the Rays up by 3.
As we begin the 6th inning, I'm with Bob and Terry, who are celebrating 30 years of wedded bliss. Why'd you decide to spend your special day at the Twins game?
It's on his bucket list.
It's on the bucket list. This is your first time to Target Field. What do you think?
Incredible. Incredible. Like I said, it's something I want to do. Bought the tickets shortly after the season started. Day finally came, we're here.
Well, you picked a beautiful night to be here. We're going to give you $100 worth of scratch-offs to the Minnesota Lottery. Help you enjoy your anniversary a little more.
Thank you.
Happy 30th to you two lovebirds, and welcome to Target Field.
6th inning now, and Yunel Escobar will lead things off.
Do you have a bucket list, Dick?
I do.
Yeah.
To Plouffe. You don't want me to go down the list, do you?
No, I don't really have one.
I have some things I'd like to do. Most of them I've already done. I've been very privileged to, follow baseball.
That ground ball out, that's 12 ground ball outs that Kyle Gibson's been able to get so far in this ball game, with 1 out here in the 6th inning. 2 fly ball outs with 1 strikeout.
Jack Nicholson did the movie where one of the things he wanted to do was jump out of an airplane. Now, I can see you doing that. I can see you wanting to jump out of an airplane with a parachute.
There's a lot of people probably without the parachute, but
Morgan Freeman was in the movie.
Yes,
here's another
good movie.
Ground ball to short. Escobar across the
and the movie, I believe, was called Bucket List.
Yes, it was. Yes. Come on down and see the Twins game August 15th from Dozier's Deck. A special offer includes a Skyline deck seat plus a limited edition Brian Dozier camo t-shirt, all for just $35. A portion of the proceeds benefit Pheasants Forever wildlife habitat conservation efforts. Call 800-33-TWINS and ask for the special Dozier's Deck ticket offer, or visit twinsbaseball.com. Dozier Deck for tickets.
I believe Brian does a lot of hunting during the winter.
He does, yeah.
I think he could use one.
He's got the cap. Masali started a 3-run inning with a single in his first major league at bat and then hit a ground ball to short. Now this start for Gibson's been a tweener. He's run into trouble in 2 innings, given up 5 runs. Hasn't been knocked out after 2 or 3 like some of the other starts, but still having a difficult outing against the Rays, who really punished him in St. Petersburg. Now Gibson's got to get over there. And Morales feeds him 3 ground ball outs and a quick top of the 6th.
Is presented by Toyota. See where Toyota takes you. Test drive one at your Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. By Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, for the everyday competitor in all of us. And by McDonald's. Stop in all summer for a cool, refreshing McCafe iced coffee, starting at just $1.59.
5-2 Rays in front in the series opener. Bottom of the 6th coming up. Joe Vavra usually is the third base coach for the Twins. He's got a bit of a hip issue. They're concerned about his mobility, and if you've watched a third base coach for any length of time, you know that they're moving back and forth and all that. So Scotty Alger, who normally is at first base, is over at third base. And Paul Molitor is now at first base as the coach. Here is Arcia, a couple of ground ball outs. Strike on the outside corner.
You know, Dick, you mentioned in his last at-bat, Arcia, it looked like sometimes he starts to feel for the ball, and that's what it looked like he did exactly to end the 3rd inning on a sinker down and away. Just kind of hit it softly for a ground out.
This one hit high and deep to left. Zobrist back, and he makes the catch at the wall. A long drive to the opposite field, and he'll get a pat on the back for what it's worth from his hitting coach.
That's what you want him to do, is go ahead and swing the bat. You know, I can imagine what Bruno's trying to teach him to stay back. Better swing right there, aggressive swing by this young man that's very strong. Good read by Zobrist, getting back, and a little bit of a leap right there. Good concentration. Look at it. Watch that ball, and then into the glove for a nice running catch. Cobb likes it.
And somewhere Joe Mauer saying, been there, done that. Left-handed batter hitting a ball long ways to left field. Having the ball caught on the warning track. But to drive the ball and hit it a long way with authority to the opposite field, I think the Twins want to see more of that from Arcia. 1 strike to Willingham.
Yeah, you know what I'm trying to say is that, you know, you're trying to change your swing, but you don't want to take away his aggressiveness
and power.
Right. It's tough to work on something like that during the season, but the Twins are going to hope that Arcia is going to be in a Twins uniform for many years to come and show that power off.
Again,
looks like Cobb slipped on the mound right there.
1-2 to Willingham. Arcia last year before he came to the Twins, and then he was sent down, of course. Had 128 at bats in AAA. He too trying to make the jump from AA. That's the thing that, I don't know. I've heard it said for years, if you can make it in AA, you can make the jump through AAA to the big leagues. But the Twins just haven't had much success with that. Santana, maybe the best example of that. Little time at AAA, but not enough to say that he graduated through the AAA ranks. But the Twins tried it with Aaron Hicks, and that hasn't worked out too well. And Arcia seems to be struggling with some things. 2-2. On the ground into the shift, and Escobar fires across. 2 down. We'll bring up Kurt Suzuki. Here's a look at the AT&T fan photo of the game. Tweet your photo to #NorthFanPhoto for a chance to be shown in an upcoming game broadcast brought to you by AT&T.
You know, if you want to stay at this level for a long time, you have to make the adjustments that pitchers will do to you. They'll pitch you in and out as a pitcher. You have to make the adjustment on how hitters start taking advantage of you. If you're one type of pitcher, you have to always make an adjustment. That's what I think Gibson's going through right now. You know, we've had good starts, bad starts.
Fox Tracks presented by Chrysler. In the case of Santana, we were discussing it on the road trip when you were here doing All-Star festivities and Futures game and all that. But just as an observer, Santana just seems to be playing the same game he played when he was 5 years younger back home. And now Suzuki hit by a pitch. Take first base, and Escobar will come up with 2 men down.
Well, second hit batsman for Cobb.
Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
I mean, some hitters, and we've seen a lot of them lately, they come up here and the game changes for them, and we hear the manager say they've got to make the game slow down. They got to slow the game down and just play it. Well, that seems to be what Santana's already done.
Personality, the way that they go about their business, not trying to do too much. So many elements go into. You know, Arcia's struggled. He was struck out a lot here, so he's trying to, you know, maybe refine his swing. It's tough.
Here's Escobar, single and 2 trips. Down low, ball 1.
You know, Santana has come up and he's done pretty good. So that's a positive. But what if somewhere, you know, hopefully it won't happen this year, he goes through a little bit of a struggle? How does he adjust to that?
You know, this was, I thought, really encouraging going into the break at Escobar, who went through that extended period, weeks where he wasn't getting hits, wasn't hitting the ball hard, but the Twins stayed with him, put him in the lineup, and for the first time in his career, he got a chance to play through a slump.
Right.
And now, you know, the encouraging signs were there in Seattle and in Colorado. You know.
But I think, Dick, you know, guys like Escobar, Santana, they're going to beat out sometimes infield hits.
Right.
Where Arcia is not going to do that as often.
Right.
So that sometimes Arcia is going to have a longer hitless streak than I think some of these guys that are a little bit quicker.
2-1 to Escobar. 3-1, fold on deck. But the principle is still the same, isn't it? If you're slumping and you're benched, it's harder to get your swing back when you're not playing every day. In Escobar's case, maybe out of desperation, the Twins didn't have a whole lot of options. They just let him play through it and swing his way through the slump. 3-1. And now 3-2. That'll allow Suzuki to leave early from first. We'll see, or put Santana at short. That might move Escobar around the infield a little bit more, but in essence, he's been the Twins' everyday shortstop for about a month. 3-2. And ball 4. The Twins again with a chance. Full, another chance with 2 men on base. He had this opportunity in the second.
Yeah, second walk for Cobb in the ball game.
Threat here. With 2 gone, and the Twins haven't gotten a hit batter and a walk. And Fold, who's hit 2 fly ball outs, a chance to cut into the Tampa Bay lead.
You can see Cobb at 99 games, and here's Sam Fuld. He's been swinging a good bat, especially here in the month of July. Over his last 13 ball games, hitting .450, 18 hits and 40 at bats. And Joe Madden out.
Buying a little time, and maybe a 6th inning pitching change with Cobb having gone through the lineup 3 times. Cobb looks off in the distance, hands the ball to Madden, and we will have a pitching change with 2 on and 2 out in the 6th. They're down 2 men on, 2 men out. Before we tell you about the new pitcher for the Rays, our Carsoup.com trivia question the last time the Twins finished above 500 in a season series with the Rays.
2006.
Very good.
Thank you.
Good to have you back.
Yeah, thank you. It's on page 174 of the media guide.
All right.
So boy. Brad Boxberger coming out of the bullpen. He's having a very good year in his first season with the Rays, coming over from the San Diego Padres organization. 36th relief appearance, 36 2/3 innings. He's allowed only 20 hits, 12 walks, 53 strikeouts. Fastball, slider, curveball, and a circle changeup. 26-year-old Brad Boxberger.
You need a big hit here from Sam Fuld to take advantage of Cobb's control issues here at the end of the 6th inning. Over for strike 1. Very low opponent batting average. You saw that, but there are 6 home runs on his ledger in 36 2/3 innings. Fuld with 2 home runs on the year, 1 for the Twins, 1 against the Twins. And a strike on the outside corner. Line foul over the Tampa Bay dugout. And Santana back with the team. Again, we'll see Fuld move around the outfield a little bit more than he did in the past, when he really was the only option the Twins had at center field.
Yeah, what you don't want Fuld to do is what he did in his first 2 at-bats, hit the ball in the air. He's more of a line, when he's swinging a bat good, line drive type hitter. And he can beat out some balls, too, in the infield.
Blocked nicely by Casale.
Fuld originally came up to the big leagues with the Cubs back in 2007, then with the Rays for 3 years, and then Oakland. Started the season with Oakland this year.
1-2.
Claimed off waivers by the Twins.
And spun foul over the Rays dugout again. 1-2. Another one line foul over the target. The speedy runners out there. I beg your pardon. Escobar has good speed at first. Suzuki, okay speed. 2-2.
Yeah, he'll score on a double.
And Fold would like to do that. Deliver a double here.
Outfield playing pretty shallow.
Little foul between Paul Molitor and the line.
Yeah, change up right there.
As a Twin, Fold hitting .285, but combined with his numbers from Oakland, .269 average coming into the game. Two and two. And now a full count with Santana on deck. Runners will take off early. Get to the outfield, should score Suzuki.
Need a gapper here.
Ball four. Good at bat for Fold. And the Twins have filled the bases. The bottom three batters in their order have all reached without a hit. And that'll bring up Santana. Santana with an infield hit his last time up. And in his rookie campaign, he has 45 hits, 10 doubles, 2 home runs. He's yet to get a triple.
That's a good call.
Oh, speed pitch that drops over the outside corner. Buckled Santana. Strike one.
Almost like a screwball. Another pitch.
And Santana with one of the worst swings he's ever offered up here.
High as 95, low as 80. The last 2 pitches, 80 miles an hour.
2 strikes. Tried it again. Threw it in the dirt. 1-2. Got a fastball, got a piece of it.
Had to sneak that fastball by him after 3 changeups. There's the last 4 pitches. 81, 80, 81, and a 93-mile-an-hour fastball.
One and two. Ball back. Monte Plata, Dominican Republic. Oh, 23 years old.
Santana 3 for 6 so far with bases loaded. He's driven in 5 runs. Let's see if he can add to that.
Chop left side. Longoria fires to get Santana, and the Twins leave 3 on in the 6th inning. It's still 5-2.
Ivan Longoria with a 3-run double, that coming in the 3rd inning. That gave the Rays a 3-0 lead. Trevor Plouffe, a 2-run home run in the bottom of the inning, made it 3-2. But Ben Zobrist getting a 2-run home run in the 5th inning off of Kyle Gibson. That's a 5-2 lead for the Rays.
Zobrist figures to hit here in the 7th. Kiermaier will lead things off, then Jennings, then Zobrist. Outside, ball 1. Gibson giving up 3 runs in the 3rd, 2 runs in the 5th. 3 of the other 4 innings were 1, 2, 3 innings. Here's a ball blasted hard off the wall, and it'll be a single for Kiermaier. He has 2 hits and a lineout. Leadoff single here in the 7th. And that'll bring up Jennings.
Well, fastball again right there. Kiermaier, good swing, good solid swing. Hitting it hard off the wall. Arcia playing the carom perfectly to get it back in quickly.
Now Jennings, the infield hit in the 3rd that was a huge break for the Rays. Eventually Longoria drove in 3 with a double. Give Joe Madden this, and when the Rays were really struggling in early June, he was very positive about his team's ability to turn things around. And there, frankly, wasn't a whole lot of reason for optimism. Some key players, pitchers were hurt, but he kept trying to be positive. Manager has to do that, especially
yes,
when a team is struggling.
Right. And, you know, again, Joe's been there for 9 years, and he brought a new attitude into the Tampa Bay area.
And that's a fair ball picked up by Morales. And on the plate, Kiermaier will go to second.
Second time that Jennings has bunted a sacrifice to advance the runner.
And now Zobrist will get some more swings against Kyle Gibson. Guerrero and Thielbar warming up. One thing that Gibson has been guilty of twice now to Zobrist, and he ended up paying the price both times. He fell behind Zobrist, ended up walking him in the 3rd, and then Zobrist scored on the Longoria double, fell behind him again in the 5th, and served up the home run ball.
There we go. Yeah, here comes Ron Gardenhire.
And Zobrist will face someone other than Kyle Gibson. He gets an out here in the 7th. 5 earned runs allowed. And just 87 pitches worth. Zobrist a switch hitter, and it'll be Matt Guerrero coming on to face him in the 7th. game series. RBI Baseball is back. Get the retro baseball game you've been missing with simple, fun, and classic 2-button style controls. Play 9-inning games in less than 20 minutes with all 30 MLB teams and 2014 MLB players. Download RBI Baseball 14 today on Xbox One, Xbox 360, PlayStation 3 and 4, as well as at the Apple App Store and Google Play. A retro baseball game. For me, that was Stratomatic. There's also another game out there, Catico, where you had player things that you put on a spinner and you spun them. You remember that game?
Oh, yeah.
That was a retro game. Matt Guerrero played neither, but he's in the ball game here for the 26th time.
Yeah, Matt has done a good job out of that bullpen since being called up by the Twins back on May 7th.
Strike on the outside corner. Big spot here for the Twins. They're down 3 runs. Tampa Bay, as usual, has a really good bullpen. A big runner to be left on base if Guerrero can get Zobrist and Joyce. Kicks away from Suzuki, but he keeps the runner at second, 1-1. Missing the inside corner, 2-1.
Matt's always had 4 pitches, a fastball that has some sink to it at times. Slider, curveball, changeup. 35 years old now.
Changeup floats outside, 3-1. It was that 4-pitch mix that caused some people to envision Guerrero as a potential starter. Not many times a reliever has 4 different pitches, and Guerrero never really got that chance. I think he made, what, 1 start in Montreal, long time.
Right.
3-1.
Now step off, and that's what Matt does right there. When Escobar went behind the base runner and already had committed as a pitcher, you want to step off.
And a walk fills first base. And you look at this game, and it was a script that was followed too closely or too similarly throughout the first half, where the other team got some clutch hits along the way and the Twins did not, and that's the difference in the ball game. That's kind of where we're at here today.
Rick Anderson back on the phone. Matt's been able to get a couple double plays turned behind him.
Joyce, and then the right-handed hitting Longoria, barring a double play. Down and away, ball 1. Guerrero's 6 pitches, only 1 strike so far. Two and 0. Either version, Guerrero 1.0 or Guerrero 2.0, never had an issue with control. Odd that he would come into the ball game and walk the first batter. Now he falls behind the next batter, 2-0. There's a strike on the outside corner.
Well, almost where that first pitch was, down and away. Kind of moving that ball around. Looked like he's ready for that 2-seam fastball, which hopefully will have some sink and get a ground ball.
Seven ground ball double plays for Joyce. Another step off. Cleveland's pounding Detroit. It's now 9-3 in the 9th inning. Boston's come back to take a lead on Kansas City 5-4. swing and a miss. 2-2.
There's that pitch again, Dick. That little two-seamer down and away. Good pitch right there. Not much of a strikeout pitcher. 12 strikeouts in 27 innings pitched.
Popped up, back and out of play. And Suzuki wants to talk it over with Guerrero. Gibson responsible for Kiermaier at second base. Guerrero walked to Zobrist to put him at first. And now 3-2.
Tried to come inside with a little cutter.
Rare coming into the game with just 5 unintentional walks in 27 innings. Thrown 11 pitches here and only 4 strikes.
You would almost think they'd have to go away again with a two-seamer.
And it's a base hit through the hole to right. Kiermaier around third. He'll score.
I'm surprised at the 2-2 pitch that they threw that pitch. I thought they would stay down and away. And on a 3-2 pitch, as a pitcher, you can't make that perfect pitch anymore. You have to bring it up.
There you go.
And that's exactly what Joyce got. Ball up a little bit. And Joyce pulling that ball between first and second. Picks up an RBI on his first hit of the ball game. And drives in his 40th run of the year.
Those other 2 at-bats came right before and right after the other big hits for the Rays. And here in the 7th inning, he gets a hit of his own. Long complete on Kyle Gibson, 6 1/3 with 6 earned runs.
This copyrighted telecast presented by the authority of the Minnesota Twins and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Minnesota Twins, LLC. Anthony Swarzak coming into the ball game, his 30th relief appearance.
He has inherited 2 of Matt Guerrero's runners, with the Twins already trailing 6-2.
16 walks, 25 strikeouts in 46 innings for Swarzak.
And Longoria will hit. The Twins need pop up, a strikeout, a ground ball hit at somebody, something to keep this game somewhat within reach. They've been out hit tonight, 10-5. Rays have scored 6 runs. They've left 3 runners on. The Twins have scored 2 runs and left 8 men on, including 5 in the last 2 innings. Fouled away, 2 strikes. Seemed odd to not have Longoria here for the All-Star game. Very modest numbers by his standards.
Yeah, 7th season with the Rays, 3-time All-Star.
Off the plate, and it's 1-2. If he drives in a run here, he'll pass Carl Crawford on the franchise RBI list at 592. And there is Zobrist at third. Joyce at first. 1-2. Right to Dozier. Flip to Escobar. Didn't get much on the throw. Got him anyway. Escobar off balance, and I think in midair was able to just get enough on the throw to get Longoria lumbering down the line.
Sweet double play right there.
A close play ending the top of the 7th, but they couldn't review it because they already lost their challenge.
I mean, nice play by Dozier. Gets handcuffed right there, and Escobar throwing a changeup over to Morales. It looked like Longoria beat the throw, but Morales reaching out.
Safe. But again, because of the hit by pitch in Dozier's last plate appearance, challenge was unsuccessful. Not much that the Rays could do about it. See if the Twins can make it matter. Dozier leading off the 7th. Twins have left 5 men on in the last 2 innings. 1 strike. Two strikes.
Boxberger still out there. He relieved Cobb last inning. Walked Fold and then got Santana to ground out with bases loaded, 2 outs.
One and 2. Dozier, Morales, and Plouffe. The Twins hope to send up a few others here as they hope to get back in the game in the 7th. High and tight, 2-2. Twins have a bench tonight of Parmelee, Nunez, Colabello, and Fryer. One of the results of the dust settling during the break is the Twins have 12 pitchers and 4 bench players now for the rest of the, well, presumably for the rest of the way. Full count now to Dozier. See Parmelee and Nunez. Swung through. Fastball, cut fastball perhaps. 1 away.
Boxberger picking up a strikeout.
I'll bring up Morales. Here's the Subway in-game box score. Morales with a hit. The only extra base hit for the Twins, a 2-run home run by Plouffe. And now Morales with the bases empty. Single to left in his first at bat. Way out in front, strike 1. Front again. Pitch has really given the Twins left-handed batters some fits. That's the pitch that Santana waved at a couple of times.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like a fastball coming out of his hand, and then 93, 94-mile-an-hour fastball, and there's a fastball at 91, and on 3 pitches. Boxberger picks up his second strikeout.
Watch where the target was. Casale wanted it high across the letters. It was down around the knees. 2 down in the 7th, and now Trevor Plouffe. 2-run home run in the 3rd for the only Twins run so far. Ball 1.
For Boxberger, that's 55 strikeouts now and 37 and a third innings pitched.
See if he's one of those guys that has better success against left-handers than right-handers. Only because of that changeup. That's usually the pitch that some Boxberger with .094 batting average against lefties and a .217 against righties.
Former #1 pick by the Cincinnati Reds back in 2009, played his college ball out of USC. Grew up in the Southern California area. Up and down a couple years with the Padres in his first season with the Rays.
2-2. And a good inning for Boxberger as he strikes out the side in the 7th.
America's studio with this update. Tomorrow night, join us for All Access with Glenn Perkins. We'll have it during Twins Live pregame at 6:30 on Fox Sports North. Now back to Target Field.
Quite a thrill for Glenn Perkins to get the save in the All-Star game. Twins hope to abruptly turn this game around to give them an opportunity tonight, but James Loney will hit here in the 8th with the Rays up by 4.
Anthony Swarzak came in relief of Matt Guerrero. Got Evan Longoria to hit into the double play to end the top of the 7th inning. He's out there to start the 8th.
Loney with a pair of singles and a ground ball to second. Down and away, ball 1. One thing that's happened pretty consistently all night long is Twins pitchers have fallen behind the batters.
Yeah, first couple 2-3 innings, Kyle Gibson was getting ahead, but then, you know, the 3rd inning fell behind. It almost started with the second time around. Fell behind.
3-0 to Loney, leading off the 8th. It's a strike at the knees. Drive to left. Loney has his 3rd single of the night. And that'll bring us to Yunel Escobar. Fox Sports Supports is proud to collaborate with Stand Up to Cancer, a groundbreaking initiative created to accelerate innovative cancer research that gets new therapies to patients quickly in order to save lives now. For more information, visit foxsportsupports.com. Escobar 0 for 3. 3 ground ball outs. He reached on a fielder's choice in the 2nd. He's hit a ground ball to 2nd, 1 to short, and 1 to 3rd. Into the seats down the right field line. Kyle Gibson took the game into the 7th, but it took 2 relievers to finish the 7th, and now Swarzak hits a double play grounder. Quickly turned, 2 away. And that'll bring up Cole Figueroa.
Second double play turn behind Swarzak.
Let's go around the majors. Jacoby Ellsbury with a big night as the Yankees beat the Reds. The Yankees officially announced that CC Sabathia is going to have a knee procedure done for the year. Jason Kipnis with a big turnaround home run. First home run he's ever hit at Comerica Park. And Yu Darvish getting his 9th win as the Rangers beat the fading Blue Jays.
There's 2 clubs fading right there. Texas too. Boy,
yeah.
they have been struggling. A lot of injuries.
Back to Swarzak. And he'll end up facing just 3 men in the 8th.
here in the bottom of the 8th. I'm Jamie Hirsch, hoping you'll stay with us after the final out of this game for Twins Live, presented by CenturyLink. We'll take a closer look at Kyle Gibson's outing as he had a bit of an off night as he struggles to find consistency in his first year in the big leagues. We'll also look at Trevor Plouffe picking up right where he left off going into the All-Star break, swinging a hot bat with a home run here tonight. And we'll go inside the clubhouse and hear from manager Ron Gardenhire and more on Twins Live after the game, guys.
All right, thank you, Jamie. Rays over the course of the season have had a change in their closer role. Grant Balfour was the closer. Jake McGee is now the closer. And Balfour is asked now to pitch to the Twins in the 8th inning.
Grant Balfour, of course, a former Twin, signed by the Twins out of Australia back in 1997. Came up with the Twins and then went over and had the shoulder surgery, elbow surgery. Ended up with the Brewers. This is his second stint with the Rays. He pitched for the Tampa Bay Rays back in 2007 to 2010. And then back with them again this year.
Biggest issue for Balfour this year has been control. As you looked at his numbers, 35 and a third innings, 27 walks. The hits are fine. Not a lot of home runs, but he's had some control issues. And we'll see if the Twins could get anything generated with him on the mound here in the 8th. Falling behind Arcia 1-0. Boston beat Kansas City 5-4. Cleveland beat Detroit 9-3. So now the Indians have pulled into a second place tie with the Royals. 2-0. Be interesting to go through time. And you talk about it all the time, the importance of throwing strike one, first pitch strikes. But what a team's winning percentage is when their pitchers don't do it. I think ultimately that's what cost Kyle Gibson and the Twins in the ball game here tonight. Rays pitchers, the ball popped up, backing out of play. Rays pitchers across the board, Boxberger, Cobb, and now Balfour will try to do the same. You get ahead strike one, you're going to win most of your games.
Keep attacking the strike zone. Going to get an example of that tomorrow evening when Phil Hughes starts for the Twins against David Price. Should be a good pitching matchup.
3-1 to Arcia. Willingham is on deck. Popped up near third base. Longoria has to run over from where a shortstop would normally play, and he makes the catch, one away. And that'll bring up Willingham. Twins fans, get your tickets now for the July 25th game against the Chicago White Sox at Target Field. It's DQ Cap Night. The first 20,000 fans will get one when they pass through the gates. Don't miss one of the most popular giveaways of the season, DQ Cap Night. Call 800-33-TWINS or visit twinsbaseball.com and get your tickets. Here's Willingham, a walk, a fly ball, and a ground ball. Strike on the outside corner. Fox Tracks presented by Carrier, 1-1. At Balfour's zenith, when he was pitching his best, control not an issue.
No, he had a great year last year with the Oakland A's. 38 saves for the A's. An ERA 2.6. There's a little cutter right there. Good location, down and away.
1-2. Early in his career with the Twins, control sometimes was an issue. 2004, 39 and a third innings, 21 walks, 14 walks in 26 innings the night before, and that one lands 5 feet in front of the plate. He was an asset late in the season in 2004. Twins entrusted him with some pretty valuable late inning assignments late in that season and in the postseason. just short of the general manager's booth. A couple of windows to our right. Two and two. Twins running out of outs. Down by 4 runs. Another one in the dirt. Foul tip. And Casale hangs on. A strikeout for out number 2.
A little slider right there. Belfort picks up a strikeout. For a guy that will talk to himself on the mound, you see that ball right there just kind of went straight down.
Suzuki hit by a pitch as last time, 0 for 2. Slider off the plate, ball 1.
Suzuki caught Belfort a little bit last year with the Oakland A's.
Didn't mean to. A dribbler up the line, and Loney will get to it before it can trickle foul. Good inning for Balfour as he sets the Twins down 1-2-3 in the 8th. Beautiful night here at Target Field, but the score not too pretty to look at. 6-2, Tampa Bay in front. Opening game of the 3-game series and a 10-game homestand.
Yeah, not the way the Twins wanted to start this homestand against the Tampa Bay Rays in this 3-game series. Jared Burton coming out of the bullpen, making his 41st relief appearance. For Jared, 37 1/3 innings, 34 hits allowed. 5 home runs, 15 walks, 1 intentional with 27 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .236. Right-handers hitting .221. Left-handers .259 off of Burton.
Pretty good debut for Curt Casale. Single, scored in his first Major League plate appearance. Done a nice job handling an assortment of Tampa Bay pitchers. Big swing and a miss. Baltimore and Oakland in the 3rd inning, and if Oakland should win that game, and let's face it, the Orioles have a very difficult road trip ahead of them as they cut through the American League West. You're taking on 3 good teams, but if the Orioles struggle, on their road trip, and the Rays continue to play good baseball. The 9.5 games could very easily be cut in half. Foul back. And that's what's going to be interesting for the Rays, Twins, Indians, Royals, all the other fringe contending teams. And then decisions have to be made by the end of July. Are you in the race? Are you out of the race? What can you get back for the assets you have? You turn the page and look forward to 2015 and beyond. You stay in it and try to fight your way through whatever odds there are and get into postseason play. 2 strikes. That's to the left field corner, and even Sam Fuld won't get that, but it's a foul ball. Just dropped across the line in foul territory. So much of it for those fringe teams, I would imagine, Bert, depends on what is offered in return for the assets. And the Rays are going through it now. Tomorrow, David Price is going to start for them, and there's a decent chance, I would imagine, that David Price will make his last start for the Rays tomorrow.
He could. I mean, you know, it's a lot up to the ownership of the Rays. Of course, they've lost a lot of talented kids.
1-2. Based on how these things typically work, probably be a 9-7 ball game tomorrow, but on paper it looks pretty good.
On paper, yes.
CenturyLink linked to what's next. David Price and Phil Hughes.
So bring your pencil with you. You never know.
2-2
with a racer.
Were you?
Well, here's a guy right here, Jared Burton. You know, that might be tradable.
What were the circumstances in your trades? I know you came back to the Twins in the middle of '85. Bouncer to third. Kloof has an easy play. 1 down. I mean, were you ever traded because of a pennant race? The team you were with was out of it, and the team you went to was in it.
I don't think so. I mean, I got traded the first time around because Galvin didn't want me anymore, so I went to Texas.
That had nothing to do with the standings.
Had nothing to do with the standings. And then I got traded from, I think maybe Texas to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh was looking for some pitching, and the Pirates were looking for some offense, which they got Al Oliver. The Texas Rangers were. And I don't know why they traded me to Cleveland. And then I came back here in '85, and then
but both the Twins,
Anaheim.
the Twins and Indians were out of the race then, right?
Right.
In '85. 1-0. Wouldn't that be nice if?
So I just wore out my welcome.
Wouldn't that be nice if, when they traded you, they had a sit down with you and said, "Here's why we're trading you to Cleveland." And it might have been a little harsh, perhaps, but at least you would have known why they traded you to Cleveland. 1-1.
But I did enjoy those 5 years in Cleveland.
You only played there 3 years, didn't you?
No.
Oh, you did play 5. Okay. 1-1. On the outside corner. Good pitch by Burton. 1-2.
Burton not a free agent at the end of the year, but the team does have a option on his contract.
Punch to center, playable for Santana. 2 down.
And he's pitched very well as of late. And here in the month of July, over now 5 innings, he has not given up a run. Only a couple hits.
His difficulty came in April in the really cold weather when he. Not using excuses, but he had one built in. He just couldn't get his shoulder loose. His control was off, and if you've seen Burton when he's pitching well, which is most of the time, he's throwing strikes, getting ahead of hitters. Hard to do that when it's 36 degrees sometimes.
Yeah, April he appeared in only 9 ball games, but gave up 9 runs. He got beat around a couple starts. Once here against the A's, and then Toronto when the Blue Jays were here. And that's hard for a reliever. I mean, he comes into this ball game with an ERA at 4.82. And in those 2 starts, he pitched 2 innings, gave up 7 earned runs. It takes a long time to get that ERA down for a reliever.
I think Twins fans might remember the weather conditions in that Toronto series when the Twins got 6 runs on 1 hit in 1 inning because none of the Blue Jay pitchers could throw strikes. And then whichever game it was, Burton came in, got 2 outs, walked 3 guys in a row, which right there, you know something's wrong.
And he gave up that grand slam.
Yeah, Laurie golfed 1 out and pitched almost in the dirt, and he just lifted it down the left field line. But they all count, 4 earned runs. And the result is inflated numbers here in July. And a strike call, 2-2. Everybody's had a 4-day All-Star break, and so McGee in a non-save situation will very likely get the 9th inning. Fouled away. Just off the corner.
Not missing by much with that fastball.
3-2. And a walk. Puts Jennings aboard. Jennings has had an interesting night. Struck out in the first, singled and scored in the third, 2 sacrifice bunts. Now a walk. He's only 1 for 2. Ben Zobrist, the batter. He's walked a couple of times and clubbed a 2-run home run. Up and away, ball 1. Rays have gone 20-11 since June 11th. And now 1-1.
Oh, you're talking, Dick, about, getting back into the race in your division, and the Twins, they're 17-14 in the Central, but after tonight's ball game, 45 of the next 67 games are played within the Central Division. And probably the same thing for the Rays and also anybody in the West.
Well, I think we pointed out while we were in Colorado, the Twins by far have played the fewest games inside their division. That is a foul ball. And the Twins have only played 31 games against teams inside their division. The Pittsburgh Pirates have played 52 games inside their division. So, yeah, there's a great opportunity for the Twins, if they can play better baseball in the second half, to have a much better second half than first. But right now, 6 games below the 500 mark. They would need to have an 8-2 homestand to head out on the road with a 500 record. That's off the plate, 2-2. Burton's thrown 23 pitches in the inning. Squibber hits the back slope of the mound, and Escobar rifles a throw Over to Morales to end the inning. Twins have some coming back to do. Escobar will lead off the bottom of the ninth.
Twins need a big rally right here, down by 4 runs to the Tampa Bay Rays. It'll be Jake McGee coming out of the bullpen, their new closer. 7 saves for McGee. Rays have 21 saves overall. McGee having an outstanding year. 46th relief appearance. It's worth 41 1/3 innings, only 27 hits allowed. He's not allowed a home run, 9 walks, 50 strikeouts. In his 5th season with the Rays, McGee just 27 years old.
Well, the Twins have a number of switch hitters. Escobar, a switch hitter, will hit right-handed. The Twins will pinch hit Eduardo Nunez for Sam Fuld. Then another switch hitter, Santana. Right-handed batter, Dozier. Switch hitter, Morales. And then a righty, Plouffe. Twins would love to get 6 guys to the plate, maybe more. See what Escobar can do to get things started.
Well, McGee with an overpowering fastball, curveball, slider, and a changeup.
And Escobar with a single and a walk so far. McGee marginally better against right-handers than left-handers. Escobar, then Nunez for Fuld, and then Santana. And then we'll see after that. Up and in, ball 1. Escobar's had a little bit better success as a right-handed batter than a left. Goes after a high fastball, 1-1.
Yeah, McGee a lot like Glenn Perkins. He's not going to fool around out there. He's just going to come right at you with that good fastball.
Toward the hole, backhanded by Yunel Escobar, and safe at first. Eduardo beat it out. Looked like Yunel wasn't able to plant that back leg and fire off a strong throw. And Escobar getting some attention from Paul Molitor.
Yeah, credit Escobar by hustling out of that box, too. And nice effort right there by Escobar. Tough play for a shortstop to have to go that deep into the hole. Try to get to speedy Escobar, and he beat it out.
The health issue of some sort with Escobar, but he's going to stay in the game. And now Eduardo Nunez. Sam Fuld had gone 0 for 2 with a walk. Nunez 0 for 5 as a pinch hitter. Strike.
Watch Escobar cross the bag right here as he's hustling down. Does he step on it wrong? Looks all right.
1 strike to Nunez. Inside, nearly hit him. 1-1.
That's why I said McGee's a lot like Perkins. They like to work those right-handers hard in with that 90+ mile-an-hour fastball.
Off the knuckles and backing out of play. One and two. Reached back for 97 miles per hour and got him with a fastball. 1 down. And now Santana. Santana 1 for 4, an infield hit in the 5th inning. Struck out once and hit a couple of ground balls.
Santana now hitting as a right-handed hitter, where he's hitting .406.
Belt high strike.
"13 hits and 32 at bats for Santana as a right-handed hitter."
Runner goes, swing and a miss. The last 3 pitches from McGee have been, here it is, hit it if you can, and they haven't been able to. Nunez struck out, swinging on a 97 mile per hour fastball. Now the first 2 pitches to Santana, 96 and 97.
Be surprised if he slows up with anything. He'll allow that barrel or bat to get out front. Someone's a little tardy. You got to keep pounding that strike zone. And he threw the ball right by him.
97 miles per hour again. Comes down to their last out. It's Brian Dozier.
Good old country hardball right there by McGee.
Since the game was turned over to the Tampa Bay bullpen, they have recorded 9 outs, 6 of them on strikeouts. They have a swing and a miss bullpen. And Dozier takes strike 1. Live arm, 0-2.
6'3", about 230, just rearing back and letting it fly.
Boxberger struck out the side in the 7th, including Dozier. Now after the infield hit by Escobar, McGee threatening to do the same. 2 strikes. 97 miles per hour down and away at the knees. And McGee blows through the Twins lineup, striking out the side in the 9th.
That's good terminology right there. He did blow by the Twins.
Well, Tom Hanneman, a tough way for the Twins to start this important homestand, as they were very much overwhelmed by a good Tampa Bay pitching rotation.
Dick, the Rays have done it to other teams this year. Tampa Bay takes the series opener at Target Field, where they have been so dominant through the years. Up next on Twins Live, we'll talk about an off night for Kyle Gibson. Trevor Plouffe staying hot. We'll hear from Guardian. We'll look ahead to tomorrow.